The countries today I'm going to talk about will be Bolivia, Egypt, and Czech Republic. The two indicators I decided to go with are life expectancy, the number of years of remaining in the life of an individual or class of persons determined statistically, affected by such factors as heredity, physical condition, nutrition, and occupation. And on the bottom, with income per person, which is the income of the people in an economic unit such as country or city. I wanted to explore how income per person would affect the life expectancy in the country and how historical events affected all these factors starting from 1800s till 2013 by using application called Gapminder. So the first country I'm going to talk about will be Bolivia. So it starts off in 1800s with life expectancy of 33 years and income per person was $900. As we can see, nothing changes until 1822. As we can see, the income started increasing pretty rapidly. As you can see, the shift started going to the right, which means, as you can see down there, the income started rising pretty impressively. However, the life expectancy stayed the same. In the middle of 19th century, income started rising pretty rapidly. This moderate increase took place in 1831 till 1850s, followed by a new mining era, which had begun, and when production began climbing dramatically, which also caused the income to go up. So as you can see, the income still continue rising, 1,500, 1,600, and it comes to, and you can see it finishes off with life expectancy of 33 years and income per person $1,900. However, let's stop right here. In 1917, the income was $2,200 per person. Let's see what happens next. Right here, in 1918, life expectancy drops down to 29 years, which were caused by post-war conditions. And a year later, 2 years later, in 1920, the life expectancy went back to its normal, 33 years. But however, as you can see, surprisingly, the income continued rising and still pretty rapidly. In 1940, the income rose by $530 compared to 1917. As you can see, 1917, 2,200, and here almost $500 per person, which means government started spending more money on healthcare system, food production, and increasing the quality of living. And from 1954, let's just go straight for, as you can see, yeah, from 1954, as you can see right here, till 1961, let's just go to that year, right here. Decrease in income has occurred. As you can see, the shift went to the left, which also you can see the decrease in income has occurred. And compared to 1952, they lost almost $800 per person. However, 1952 was the highest peak at that moment. In 1960s, the shift precipitously went to the right, causing both indicators to go up as well till 1978, as you can see right here. Later on, as you can see, starting in 1978, let's follow the shift. As you can see, the shift started zigzagging to the left and to the right, making income unstable. Income per person is occurred by healthcare, standard of living, and production of food and other products in the country, which, according to the statistics, is pretty developed for such country like Bolivia. So in 2013, it reached its highest peak in history with $6,000 per person and 67 years of life expectancy. So let's go back to Egypt. Egypt is the second country I'm going to talk about, medium economically developed country. So let's hit play. As we can see, that it's it's happened. The same situation happens here. As we can see that income started rising, but it didn't rise that rapidly as in Bolivia. As you can see, the income in the beginning was 1,400 per person, and the life expectancy of 33 years. As you can see, the income started rising, which which is pretty good for a medium economically developed country. However, let's stop right here. As we can see, in 1917, it reached $2,500 per person. Year later, the life expectancy dropped down to 25 years due to post-war conditions, because it needs time to come back to track after the war, and due to a lot of casualties during the war, like for as you know during the war. As for example, the Bolivia a year later went back to the stable form and stayed like that for 10 years. Let's see what happens here. As you can see, it came back to its normal. It's as you can see, let's just go back slightly. So a bit more. As you can see, for about almost 8 years, the country stays stable as it was. As you can see, starting in 1929, let's hit play. Let's see what happens. See, you see the shift is going up and down, which means that the income stayed almost the same. There were $4 or $5 difference, decrease or increase. However, the life expectancy went up and down, and it caused a lot of. It was caused because of a lot of battles in which Egypt was involved throughout the years, such as campaigns and battles for the land, which could affect the life expectancy due to a lot of losses in the army. However, starting in 1950, as you can see, that not only life expectancy kept rising, but also income started rising as well. So let's go to 2000. Let's go to the year 2000. As you can see, that shift almost goes to the right, which shows us that income started rising and life expectancy parallelly with it as well. So let's stop at year 2000. And the 20th century for Egypt finished with um, eight $8,150 per person and life expectancy of 69 years. This statistic shows that the healthcare started already improving long time ago, which also affected the life expectancy in the country. As you can see, starting already in the middle of 20th century, the income started rising, which government already started spending more money for their people and civilians of their country. So let's hit play and see what happens. So the highest peak in terms of income was in 2010, which was $10,670 per person, and the highest life expectancy was in 2013 with 71 years of life expectancy. And the last country that I'm going to talk about will be Czech Republic. I'm going to start off with 1820s because sorry, right, okay, never mind. So 1820s, because throughout before that nothing had happened. So let's start here. Life expectancy was 35 years and income per person was $1,900. However, let me remind you that Czech Republic is the most developing country in these three countries. So yeah, so let's hit play and see what happens. So as you can see that the life expectancy of 35 years was pretty low for the most developing country like this, meaning that 35 years it alludes to the low quality of healthcare and other economical indicators. And for 74 years, life expectancy didn't change, as you can see. see the income rising, but the life expectancy stays the same. And let me just tell you that how if even though the life expectancy didn't change, the income was rising, and by 1894 the income reached $3,600 per person. Taking under the consideration that all the time it was Austria and Hungary, the income continued growing up. However, as soon as they're getting closer to the 1919, as you know, the World War One. Let's see here. Here, what happens? So, yes, you can see that the small shift in 1917. After that, the small shift appears here to the left, which showed a small decrease in terms of income. And rapidly in 1918, the life expectancy fell down to 36 years, which were also caused by post-war conditions. However, as well as the other countries, the year later it went back on track and went to its normal. But after the World War One, the income started rising as well as life expectancy. As you can see, the shift started going to the right, causing income to rise. And in 1930, we can see that income started decreasing. However, the life expectancy continued rising. So, during the World War II, life expectancy dropped down from 59 years. Let me just quickly show it to you. So 59 years, it dropped down to straight away to 45 years at the end of World War II, which you know that the Czech Republic actively participated in. And after that, a lot of income after due to a lot of income after the war, the life expectancy went as well up. And at the end of 20th century, let's just fast forward to the 20th century. At the end, sorry, 20th of the 20th century. So you can see it's always going up and down, showing like a lot of small shifts in Czech Republic's economy. And let me just tell you that let's just go straight away to the end. So the highest income was $19,700 and life expectancy of 75 years in 2000. Sorry, the life expectancy of 78 years in 2013. However, as you can see that throughout the century, the shift of income was going left and right. However, the average was 72 years of life expectancy, which shows the quality of living and healthcare system in the country was improving quite impressively. And in the 21st century, the highest peak of income was in 2008, which was $27,600 per person, and life expectancy of 78 years in 2013. So overall, the evidence suggests that the level of national income is important to longevity, that how it is distributed among the population does not matter, at least in high-income countries. Government, no matter how large it gets or how much it engages in income redistribution, appears to contribute to longevity in developed countries.